Welcome back. Now, South Africa's Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, Gayton McKenzie, was appointed to the position as early as July, and that was part of President Ramaphosa's government of national unity. He kicked off his term in the office with the controversial publishing of a list of artists and sports professionals who benefited from the department's COVID-19 relief funds, stopped trips for superfans, and has in the meantime highlighted issues of transformation in sports, equal access to sports, prioritizing physical education in schools, and the call for broadcasters for free viewing of national sports events. Minister McKenzie joins us now with that and more. Minister, thank you for your time and congratulations on your new gig.
Oh, thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
All right, Minister. Maybe we can start off by speaking about the ministry that you've adopted. I think it's an important one. First day on the job and you get the lay of the land. How do you perceive the environment that you've taken over?
You know, it was even mentioned this morning. There's this perception that sport, arts and culture is a demotion. Until I went to Paris. And I realized I'm being treated like royalty. And then I realized in France, they treat your sports minister, as in your arts and culture, as a very important ministry. So I like the French way of doing things. So here in South Africa, we're going to bring life to this department. You know, it's about social cohesion. I've said myself, you know, we must admit that we are not where we want to be, but we are not where we used to be. But we're not where we want to be. And I want to take us to where we want to be. We are one nation. We are a sporting nation. We are arts nation. We are a culture nation. We are a nation with great heritage. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make people happy. I'm going to show us that we're great. Look at this past weekend. We've been winning. I mean, like, you're going to get, I think Donald Trump said, you're going to get tired of winning so much. Yes.
Okay, nobody gets tired of winning at all, Minister. And let's also speak about sports, arts and culture as economic imperatives. So, you know, as contributors to GDP, as contributors to social cohesion, as you mentioned, but also as places of development in South Africa, you know, for young people, but even for those who consider themselves as professionals in these spaces.
No, definitely. I mean, like, you look at sport, arts and culture, it contributes around 3% to the GDP of the country. And then you have other countries where it contributes to 9% of to the GDP of those countries. So firstly, we need to up what we contribute towards the GDP. And in this we have a big problem of double-digit figures when it comes to youth unemployment. We need to make sure that us as an industry play our role in making sure that we get people jobs, we get people in the industry. You know, South Africa is a great country. And when we are, you know, the best thing about South Africa is, and the best times we're having in South Africa is when there's a big sporting event happening. We have the world's best artists. I mean, you look at Amapiano. I was shocked the other day when I saw in Paris, in France, all the young kids are playing Amapiano. And I'm like, oh my word, this is the thing. And we need to support, we need to cultivate, we need to invest to make sure that it goes throughout the world. Because our young people have stumbled on something extremely great here.
Absolutely. I want to speak about the how there. Is that a matter of more investment? Is it a matter of better legislation? Is it, working with other ministries in schools? How do we make sure that we are cultivating, sports, arts and culture, that we do have a strong pipeline coming through, and that those who then, go on to become professionals in the space are well taken care of?
I think it's a cocktail of what you just mentioned. Firstly, it's a cocktail of what you just mentioned. You know, for instance, our people say you must bring sport back in schools. That is great. That's what we intend to do. But that's the only thing we are going to do. We're going to bring arts and culture back into school. Because it's not everybody that want to do sport. Some of us at least must be supporters. I mean, I'm a super fan that pays for my own ticket, but yeah. So I'm saying that sport fans are also important. And when you look at our country, you cannot just concentrate on sport and neglect art. You can't neglect that. So what we are trying to do is we want to bring community sports back. We want to bring school sport back. We want to bring community art back. We want to bring school art and culture back. The problem I'm having, for instance, currently, is that you look at our halls, community halls. They open once in 2 weeks if there's an event. Those should be used as theaters, as a springboard. If you do well there, if your show does well in your own community, we can now take you to the Baxter. We can now take you to the Playhouse in Durban. But you got to start somewhere. And where do you start? You start from where you are. Where are you? You are next to the community wall. And those are the type of stuff I want to bring in.
I love that because it does speak to issues of organising better within sports, arts and culture. I'm also keen to speak about equal access. This one an important one for you. I'm keen what are your thoughts around the issue of equal access there? Is it about, getting people in townships, at the fore, at the Olympics, out there? How do we get the equal access issue going, specifically because inequality in South Africa is deeply structural?
Right. Now, there's, I think it was Einstein that said, if you do the same thing over and over again and you expect different results, it's a part of insanity.
Yeah.
For 30 years, everybody has been talking about why is there no black players in the Springboks? Why is there no black cricket players? And there should be. But, the problem is not why is there not by word. We need to go and see why is there not. And I did that. I didn't want to say the same thing over and over again. You've been talking about transformation for 30 years. There's still no transformation. So I'm not crazy. So what I've done, I said, all right, let me go and see why. And then I came out to say, you can't expect equal outcomes at the top, but there's not equal access. I've never heard any sports person that's passionate about transformation. If you're so genuinely passionate about transformation, you keep on picking on things like rugby, picking on cricket, which is not wrong, but then you should pick on all the sports. Why don't you say, why is there no black swimmers? South Africa's never had black swimmers representing our country. But that's a problem there. The problem is not with the white people that makes it. It is why is it that we don't have black swimmers? Because there's no swimming pools in some of the black areas. The problem is that you look at pole vaulting. I've never seen, I'm 50 years old, I've never seen a school with pole vaulting in our area. I even sometimes think I will land up at the wrong side where there's no mat. But what I'm saying is that I want to get that. I look at breakdancing at the Olympics the other day. I was devastated. Let me tell you something. I'm a below average dancer. Okay. But I would have jumped on that stage and I would have gotten a bronze, maybe a silver or a bronze. But you can't have, we have those people. I saw mountain climbing, that wall climbing. And I remember one of my friends, they grabbed his cell phone and the guy went over and he said, the guy that stole my cell phone, find him, he will get us a gold medal there. But what I'm trying to say to you is that South Africa, we must be honest. Yeah. We must stop politicizing everything. Okay. There's a problem. We need more black cricketers at the top. We need, you can't compare rugby because the coach of rugby is a maverick. He's an outlier. Rassie Erasmus is not normal. He's an outlier. Now, if you're going to compare everybody to Rassie, you'll be comparing the wrong person because he's an outlier. He's a one person that is just above great. Now, what I'm saying is that we need to be honest, and I want to be the first minister to come out and say what everybody thinks, but is scared to say it. Yeah. Stop this thing of expecting equal outcomes without equal access. I, as Gayton McKenzie, as the Minister of Sport, Arts and Culture, I'm going to make sure that children have pole vaulting at the school. There's swimming pools that's being built. Children have all the equipment needed for them to get to the top. You can't, it's like putting the white players there at 20 meters and putting the black players at the start. And then when they get there, you want to blame the white administrators or the white players. They didn't ask to be put there. They didn't ask to be put there. So we must just take this race thing to its core and say black kids don't have access. Gotcha. They don't have equipment. They don't have soccer boots, proper soccer gear, sorry. They don't have sports gear, not soccer gear. They don't have proper, and it's embarrassing for the kids to go and play against Synthetians. And they come here with raggedy clothes. You don't do that to children. So that's what I want. So in 10 years, in 5 years, you will see a difference. We are taking 300, and that's what I set as a target. We can't be taking 134 athletes to the Olympics. While there's countries like Denmark and them, that takes equal amount that we are taking, but they're like 5 million people, while we are 60 million. That nonsense is coming to an end. And I'm going to make sure that I support, and we're going to help financially. We're going to get business involved. People say corporates don't get involved. Corporates was involved. We had Ahmad Luk, if you remember them, the under 23s. Yeah. Everybody knows about them. But you want corporates to keep on putting money in where they don't get ROI. They don't get even the courtesy of being told this is what your money has gone for. So we want to take sports out of our department, this project 300, and give it to the private sector and say, make sure we will help you. We will match you rent to rent, but make sure that you take 300 which is 100% of improvement of what we have now.
All right. Well, before I let you go, one more. On the other side of the coin, great sporting weekend for South Africa. That means that we've got lots of potential, lots of excellence happening here. How do we make sure that we get more of these events hosted in our backyards so that we benefit from tourism and the likes?
No, President Ramaphosa has made sure of that already.
Okay.
Look, we made sports minister. I'm an action man. I am
that.
bringing F1.
Okay.
I'm bringing UFC. Okay. UFC is really a done deal. I'm bringing power slip, Chisambama. I'm bringing that too. It has been Nevada, in Las Vegas, in Abu Dhabi. It has been legalized already as a sport. We've got they got 50 million views of some of the videos. We're bringing that to South Africa. You have the right minister now. I've got the right support. The GNU, Yasebenza. The GNU is working. Don't listen to the ones that say we're not going to last. We are tight. Things are working. The GNU is the best thing to have happened to this country. And the only thing I don't like about the GNU is the fact that people are going to love the GNU so much that they make sure that the next government is also the GNU.
Well, Minister, we'll hold you to it. Thank you for your time today. It's been a pleasure speaking to you. That was South Africa's Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, Gayton McKenzie.